Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I have some breaking news coming out here for you. So I have a story to go over regarding yesterday's video. If you saw, I put out a video yesterday talking about the fact that the Biden administration of the US paused weapon shipments going to Israel. And they did so right when Israel had announced that they were going into Rafah. I believe they started operating throughout eastern Rafah, took over some of the border crossings there with Egypt. And right as that happened, we had word coming out that the Biden administration was going to be halting weapons shipments of some crucial bombs that they use to destroy homes and obliterate the Gaza Strip. I think they were like 500-pound bombs and 2,000-pound bombs. Okay, this was thousands of bombs of weapon shipments that were halted in the last week. So we've got an update here now that Biden has told Netanyahu that weapon shipments will halt if Israel launches Rafah operation. So obviously they have already halted a previous shipment, but this was only one shipment that was halted. It's not complete halt of weapons here, what we were seeing previously. But now Biden's coming out and telling Netanyahu they will completely halt weapon shipments if they go into Rafah. So what Biden is trying to do is put pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu and tell him not to go into Rafah because they have concerns of humanitarian issues where innocent people are going to be killed. And from the very beginning, I've been talking about this, and I've been telling all of you this is going to be really bad if they go in because a lot of innocent people are going to be killed here, unfortunately. But Netanyahu is hell-bent on going into Rafah because he wants to destroy Hamas. That's his number one objective, is destroy Hamas and then bring the hostages back. That's what he wants to do until the very end. He wants ultimate victory against Hamas. That's what Netanyahu wants. So we're going to be going over an article right now and talking some more about this. And then also I have a video for you guys of Netanyahu responding to Biden. And I'll tell you right now, he's very upset. So let's take a look at this on CNN Politics. Biden says he will stop sending bombs and artillery shells to Israel if it launches major invasion of Rafah. Okay, so look, artillery shells now is another thing on the list, and bombs. Okay, so I would think it's probably much more than just that, but that's just what they're stating here in this article. So much more weapon shipments will be halted if they go into Rafah. President Joe Biden said for the first time Wednesday he would halt some shipments of American weapons to Israel, which he acknowledged have been used to kill civilians in Gaza if Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu orders a major invasion of the city of Rafah. So he did acknowledge here. We have him coming out, President Biden that is, and stating that these weapons that the U.S. has been sending over to Israel are being used to kill Gaza civilians. He has confirmed that, and obviously he's at fault for this too. You know, he's confirming that he's part of this this madness over here where all these innocent people are being killed. There's, I believe, well over 35,000 people already that have been killed by the airstrikes happening throughout the Gaza Strip. Civilians have been killed in Gaza as a consequence of those bombs and other ways in which they go after population centers, Biden told CNN's Aaron Burnett in an exclusive interview on Aaron Burnett Out Front, referring to 2,000-pound bombs that Biden paused shipments of last week. I made it clear that if they go into Rafah, they haven't gone in Rafah yet. If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities that deal with that problem, Biden said. The president's announcement that he was prepared to condition American weaponry on Israel's actions amounts to a turning point in the 7-month conflict between Israel and Hamas, and his acknowledgement that American bombs had been used to kill civilians in Gaza was a stark recognition of the United States' role in the war. The president has come under extraordinary pressure, including from members of his own party, to limit shipments of arms amid a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Until now, the president had resisted those calls and strongly supported Israel's efforts to go after Hamas, yet a looming invasion of Rafah, the city in southern Gaza, where more than 1 million Palestinians have been sheltering, appears to have shifted the president's calculus. Okay? So also it says here, we're not walking away from Israel's security, we're walking away from Israel's ability to wage war in those areas. So they're not walking away from protecting Israel, but they are trying to prevent, I want to say, Israel from going into Rafah. That's the main thing here. And this all has to do with the civilians, as far as we know from what we're being told. Who knows? Maybe there's more going on behind the background that, behind the scenes that we don't know. But on the surface, the main reason why the Biden administration is trying to prevent them from going in is because they know that a lot of innocent people are going to be killed. And this is only continuing to look more and more like a genocide. And this could backfire on the United States, Israel, so many other countries, including European nations that are supplying weapons for Israel. Biden said while the U.S. would continue to provide defensive weapons to Israel, including for its Iron Dome air defense system, other shipments would end should a major ground invasion of Rafah begin. We're going to continue to make sure Israel is secure in terms of Iron Dome and their ability to respond to attacks that came out of the Middle East recently, he said, but it's just wrong. We're not going to supply the weapons and artillery shells. Already, the U.S. has paused a shipment of high payload munitions due to Israel's possible operations in Rafah without a plan for the civilians there, according to the Pentagon, though it said a final decision on the shipment hadn't been made. The administration said it is reviewing the potential sale or transfer of other munitions. So they're looking at whether they'll be sending any other types of munitions to them or maybe not. We also had reports yesterday that the Defense Secretary, Lloyd Austin from the United States as well, confirmed to Congress that these weapon shipments have been halted, at least temporarily, and we'll see if that's going to be a permanent thing if they decide to go into Rafah. Okay? So Israeli officials privately expressed to U.S. officials deep frustration on the pause in shipments, as well as the U.S. media briefings on the decision, according to a source briefed on the matter. So there's more information here if you guys want to take a look at this, as we'll talk about the growing divide between Netanyahu and Biden. But you guys can read that if you want to. Just wanted to give you that quick information that's talking about this actual topic. Okay, so finally, now I want to show you the response from Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister on the right side of your screen of Israel, okay? So it's just a 1-minute clip. Let's go ahead and take a look at what he has to say.
80 years ago, in the Holocaust, the Jewish people were totally defenseless against those who sought our destruction. No nation came to our aid. Today, we again confront enemies bent on our destruction. I say to the leaders of the world, no amount of pressure, no decision by any international forum will stop Israel from defending itself. As the Prime Minister of Israel, the one and only Jewish state, I pledge here today from Jerusalem on this Holocaust Remembrance Day, if Israel is forced to stand alone, Israel will stand alone. But we know we're not alone, because countless decent people around the world support our just cause. And I say to you, we will defeat our genocidal enemies. Never again is now.
All right, so as we can see there, Benjamin Netanyahu very upset. And he's referring to the Holocaust, what happened to the Jews right before World War II began and all that. So he's been bringing that up a lot lately, talking about that and referring the situation to similarly what happened to the Jews during the Holocaust, okay? And he's saying that now they have the ability to defend themselves when back then they did not, and now the U.S. is preventing them from doing so. So he's upset behind that. And obviously, this is a very controversial subject. It really, either way you go, you're wrong if you do, and you're right if you don't. You're right if you do at the same time. And this is obviously a very difficult decision to make on all parts here, all parties, whether it's Israel, United States, or anything. And it's a very divided topic and a very difficult decision to make. So either way, no matter what they choose to do here, it's going to be a very difficult outcome to achieve what anybody really wants here. The Biden administration wants them to halt their offensive. Netanyahu wants to go in and destroy Hamas. But in return, they're going to end up killing a lot of innocent people that refuse to leave Rafah. And one thing I want to note here real quick, too, is we've constantly seen this push from the Biden administration telling Netanyahu and the Israeli government they need to have a plan for the civilians. That's the major thing here. If they don't have a plan for the civilians, do not go into Rafah. And from what we have seen, they've had a partial plan. Okay, they set up Al-Mawasi, it's pretty much a camp full of tents on the beach of Gaza. And apparently they were going to be able to house something like 40,000 or more people there, or several hundred thousand. I'm not sure. But it's not going to be enough for everybody. Okay, so they can move some people out, but majority of the people that don't have anywhere to go, where are they going to leave? You know, they can't really leave Rafah if there's nowhere else to go because the entire strip is completely destroyed. So this is going to be a very difficult thing for Netanyahu to achieve this goal whenever all these innocent civilians are there, and unfortunately they're going to be killed if they launch this operation. So that's what Biden is trying to do here by preventing this operation. So let me know what you think down below, though. That's going to be it for this update. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.